Cyberbrainer is an online training platform designed to help individuals and teams learn the latest technologies and become certified professionals, producing a comprehensive learning experience.
Am I going to move them out, which means I'm going to make them, or I'm going to have them terminated, or am I going to move them to another supervisory organization? That is the next thing that we need to be looking at. And only post that I will be able to inactivate a supervisory organization. So whatever the say is just linked to a normal business scenario, how you would approach it. That's number 2. Third, as a part of reorganization, what we are going to be seeing is moving people from one organization to another organization. So, for example, okay, let me just give the data over here as current date. So in this particular supervisory organization, I have 2 people. One is going to be seen at consultant versus Joe, and another is going to be Joe's. So let's imagine that I'm moving Joe's. Lean from the technology consulting NA. Let's see consulting services. Alright, I'm just making a confirmation whether it is the right one. It is Daryl Parker's organization. So I'm moving Joe's lane from Technology Consulting NA to the Consulting Services group right now. And if I want to have some mass moment, I can do that as well. So this is completed right now. Alright, I go to process. Okay, so this is successfully completed. Alright. So now let us go to our orchestra again and then see if it is all good. So if you see over here, I have moved. Where was the group actually? I moved under Daryl Parker. Okay, 1 minute, let me just check it. Let me show off here, there's something stuck in the approvals. Okay, Daryl Parker over here is different. Okay, let me just check this one alone. I'll get back to you. Some issue over there with that particular worker who's not possibly moved. I'll check this up and I'll get back to you in quick time. So we saw about assigning a superior organization, how I can assign a superior organization. I can also create a subordinate supervisory organization. So, which means like I said, when we create an organization hierarchy, or when we go for a new implementation, we always start from the top and go all the way to the bottom. So we create AC. You see, we will have a supervisory organization and then we go to the bottom most, so that it's always easy for us to create, and also the inheritance, and everything is going to be clearly set up. That's number 1. And the third option, so probably you might not see it over there in the menu because some of the security restrictions. So if I want to divide my organization, because in a practical scenario what will typically happen is if I have, say, like 50, 60 kind of people in the same support, and sometimes people may feel that for administrative purposes, the manager may feel a little bit overloaded. Sometimes. So what if I'm going to divide my supervisory organization into multiple smaller units? So it's better administered. That is the purpose of an organization division. So I might divide an organization into multiple small units, and again, the main consideration is going to be like how my organization stuffing model is going to look like. And again, I have to ensure that all my positions are also managed properly, and I do have the same stuffing model. Number 1. Second, the role assignments, say, I'm going to divide it. These are probably. You can just link it to a practical scenario. So I have a division, say a sales division. So I'm going to just say I have a sales division out of US, and I feel like there are some 60 people reporting on to a person, a manager, CRN. Now I feel that, as a sales unit of US, managing 50, 60 people is going to be difficult. So I might divide it as one called a sales unit for East Coast, another one for sales unit for West Coast. And for West Coast I may have a new manager, which could be somebody based out of San Francisco. Whereas a person for the East Coast, I could have somebody from New York. So it is easy for me to manage. So that's typically your real-life scenario, where I would be dividing an organization purely for administrative purpose. That's number 1. And the second consideration, how my hierarchy is going to typically look like upon division. So I'm going to divide my organization into 2. How is going to be the role hierarchy? How is the superior supervisory organization going to remain the same as the old hierarchy, or am I going to make some changes over there in the hierarchy as well and say that it's going to be reporting into me? But it's going to be reporting into another junior resource who will be correspondingly reporting to me. Purely an administrative call from the business teams. Next, move workers. So we saw about move workers in the current scenario that I was just showing you. Because we didn't have positions open, it didn't move across to the other organizations. So the only restriction that I need to have is ensure that there are positions which are open and available to fill. Only then I'll be able to move workers from one organization to another supervisory organization. So the next thing that we are going to be seeing over here is inactivating an organization. So, like I said, if I feel that our organization is going inactivating, I will choose the option called as inactivating an organization. Alright. At the same time, the consideration that I need to have is, if I'm going to make an organization inactive, I need to ensure that all workers who are there in the organization are moved to another supervisory organization. The positions are all closed, actioned out everything. And if there are any in-progress pipeline items, I need to ensure that that is also taken care of. Organization owner. So usually if I say that organization owner, what do I mean by an organization? Owner is typically a man in any specific terminology. I would say it is more of the organization that I'm going to be creating. And usually what we do in the current tenant that you might see is it is always self-assigned, which means the one who's actually going to be creating will be the owner of this particular supervisory organization. The purpose of this is more administrative. So when we create one supervisory organization in a real world, we will say that the manager is going to be also owning the organization. So there is more of an administrative purpose. I'll be the owner of this, the manager. I'll be managing this organization. It is more of a one more role that we create and manage, more for administrative purpose. It does not have a real-world scenario other than doing day-to-day tasks for the supervisory organization that I'm creating. And if a manager is going to leave the organization or he's going to move on to a new hierarchy, I'm going to be transferring the ownership to another person. And we do have the option to transfer multiple organizations to a single owner or anything.
Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.